Hello, friends, family, and fellow bookworms, welcome back. Today I'm doing something very different from what I usually do, and if you're wondering why exactly I'm asking AI to write me a short story set after The Lord of the Rings, the answer is I have no idea at all. I just thought it would be interesting to ask AI to write me a short story taking place after The Lord of the Rings. I'm doing this for no reason at all, but I'm just kind of interested to see the results. So without further ado, let's see what AI comes up with. Alright, so what I asked the AI to do is write me a short story set after The Lord of the Rings in the 4th Age of Middle-earth. Let's see what AI can come up with. Okay, let's see how the story is. The sun of the 4th Age felt different. It was warmer, perhaps, or maybe it was just that the air was no longer thick with the smoke of war and the shadow of Mordor. Elian, a stonemason's apprentice of some 30 years, had only known peace, but he saw the scars of the past every day. They were in the chipped stones of the city walls and the haunted, weary eyes of the old men who spoke of the siege. His work was to smooth those scars, to mend the breaks, and build new things on the foundations of the old. Today he was helping to lay the foundation for a new library near the Citadel, a building that would hold the histories of a world that was already fading into legend. He knelt, trowel in hand, to inspect the ground where a new cornerstone would be set. The earth was soft and dark, rich with the memory of the past. His trowel struck something hard, not stone, but metal. He dug carefully, and the object revealed itself to be a child's toy soldier, a crude carving of a Gondorian knight, still clutching a tiny, broken sword. It was tarnished and bent, likely dropped by a boy during the frantic days of the siege. Elian held it in his palm, a tiny relic of a great sorrow. He imagined the child, perhaps a son of one of the guards, huddled in the city while the drums of war echoed on the Pelennor fields. A gentle hand touched his shoulder. It was Master Doran, his teacher, a man who had fought in the siege and whose face was etched with the years of memory. Doran saw the toy and smiled, a sad, knowing smile. "That was the world we lived in, lad," he said, his voice a low rumble. "A world where even a child's game was a reflection of the fight." Elian looked at the peaceful city around them, the market bustling with merchants from Rohan, the new green saplings growing where the city had been burned. "And this is the world you gave us," he said softly, looking from the toy to the library foundation. Doran nodded, his gaze distant. "Aye, it is a quiet sun, this one. A good sun for building." Elian placed the toy soldier in his pouch, a small secret to carry with him. It was not a tale of great kings or wizards, but a story of a boy, a toy, and the quiet, unending work of peace. He picked up his trowel again and began to mix the mortar, his hands moving with purpose, building a future that would one day hold the history of the past. Then the AI said, "I hope you enjoyed that glimpse into a quieter Middle-earth. This draft is appropriate for a high school or early college level, alright? Let me know if you'd like to adjust the tone or explore a different part of this new era, like the dwarves of the Lonely Mountain or the elves of the Grey Havens preparing to depart." So that was very interesting for sure. I can actually say that the AI did a lot better than I thought it would do. I just was thinking I'm just gonna give it one sentence and see what it does. And surprisingly, the AI actually did pretty good. I don't know if it kind of sounds like something that could be written by Tolkien. The prose, I feel like, maybe was a little bit modernized, but I did really like how the AI is going on the theme of, like, the days of war are ended, and the age of peace is beginning. And this is in the 4th Age when elves and wizards and all the magical creatures were starting to disappear, and the world was starting to be ruled by men instead of dwarves and elves. And the AI actually did a lot better than I expected. Another thing that I'm interested in is the names. Doran and, what was it, Elian or Elian or something like that. I wonder if AI just made up those names, if it just randomly generated those names, or if it actually means something in one of the languages that Tolkien created? Yeah, I wonder. Well, that was certainly very interesting. When I told it to write a short story, the story actually ended up being a lot shorter than I thought it would be. So this video ended up being a lot shorter than I thought it would be as well. This story kind of feels like if a modern author had written The Lord of the Rings, and this kind of feels like the epilogue that The Lord of the Rings would be if it was a story written in this modern age. Although if it was a story written in this modern age, it probably would have been way more different than it actually is. This was a video that I thought of doing a very long time ago, but I was a bit hesitant because I didn't want AI to write a story after Lord of the Rings because, you know, it could be terrible, and I was actually surprised. The story certainly wasn't terrible. I mean, it wasn't the best. It feels like, I don't know, it feels like something a modern author would write, not exactly something that Tolkien would write. The prose is kind of similar to Tolkien's own prose in The Lord of the Rings, but it's different somehow. I don't know, it just felt more of like a modern prose sort of mixed in with Tolkien's own writing style. This was very interesting. I just did this because I was just interested to see the results, and I figured I might as well share it with everyone watching this. And I was surprised by how well the AI did. It certainly wasn't perfect, and I'm not considering the story like canon or anything, but the story was definitely very interesting, and I'm glad it kept to Tolkien's themes of the Fourth Age and didn't just invent some other conflict going on where, like, Sauron somehow survived the destruction of the ring or something like that, which I honestly thought AI would probably do something like that, but I was actually surprised how it did do it. I think it was true to Tolkien's themes that he was building in The Lord of the Rings. The AI did surprisingly well, but still the prose just didn't exactly feel like something Tolkien would write. Kind of felt something like a modern writer would write, but still very interesting. That's so far as the end of the video. This ended up being a lot shorter than I thought it would be, and I know I haven't been doing a lot of book reviews lately. I can promise you a book review next week though, so stay tuned for that. I didn't know what else to do for this video. I haven't finished any books recently. There wasn't enough time to do a book review, so I just figured, why not ask AI to write a short story after The Lord of the Rings? But let me know what you think in the comments. I'd be very interested to know. What did you think about this? Did the AI, in your opinion, do very good? Did it do bad? Did you kind of have mixed feelings on it? Do you land where I land on it, or am I completely off my rocker with my opinion of this? Let me know what you think. Let me know what how you think the AI did, if it stayed true to Tolkien's themes or if it moved away with them. It definitely stayed true to Tolkien's themes in my opinion, but kind of moved away from his writing style and prose. But I liked how it kind of had the tone of like, the days of magic are fading and all the wars are over. I did kind of like that. But anyway, that's the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know in the comments how you think the AI did. I'm very interested to know. Thanks so much for watching this video, and for now, farewell.